Preserve antique clothing. If you are lucky enough to inherit some clothing articles from your grandmother, you need to learn how to properly take care of them. Vintage clothing is so much in fashion that all you need to do is find a proper occasion so that you can wear an antique piece. You can also consider preserving your own clothes and make a vintage classic someday. One of the most common articles of clothing that is preserved is a bridal gown. Traditional families pass bridal gowns from one generation to another, altering some areas to make it appear modern yet still holding on to the vintage design. Antique clothing requires special care to maintain its beauty and glamour. You need to decide on whether to wash the clothing on your own, or send it to a professional dry cleaner. If the fabric of the clothing appears delicate, then it's best to leave it to the professionals. Send it to a dry cleaning shop that specializes on antique clothing. Check the fabric of your vintage. Avoid hand-washing lace, silk, and chiffons as these can dissolve when washed. Opt for dry cleaning instead. Store the vintage clothing in a flat storage, keeping the area dry and acid-free. Over time, clothing can react against moist and acid, so make sure you protect your storage area from these harmful elements. You can consider investing on textile boxes that can be customized, but these are quite expensive. Consider plastic boxes as an alternative to the customized boxes. Plastic boxes are able to hold clothing articles while keeping them acid-free and dry. Do not pile up several pieces on top of each other. The beadworks can be entangled when you pile them up. Insert a piece of tissue paper or another fabric between the antique pieces. It's best to purchase several sheets of tissue for you to use in wrapping each article. Make sure that you purchase acid-free tissue paper. You can get these at garment stores or specialty shops. Fold the clothes well. Do not place heavy objects on top of the clothes to avoid creating unsightly wrinkles on the fabrics. Once you're sure that each article of clothing has been wrapped, add some cedar blocks into the container. This will prevent moths to come in contact with the antiques. Be careful not to have the cedar blocks come in contact with the clothes. Keep the plastic containers in a dry and dark place. Avoid exposing the container in direct sunlight as harsh UV light can cause damage to the antique. If you want to easily access the antique pieces, you can place labels on the boxes so you do not need to open them one by one. You can also create photo labels by taking snapshots of the antiques and post them on the boxes. As much as possible, Avoid opening the containers as dust can penetrate the boxes. Do not store the antique pieces by hanging them on your closet. Most people do the mistake of placing clothes on clothes hanger. The weight of antique pieces can cause the clothes to sag over time.